And California is facing a deficit next year that's expected to be $18 billion. And the options for lawmakers right now to find solutions basically boil down to making significant cuts, raising your taxes, or both. KCRA 3's Ashley Zavala has been looking at the report, crunching the numbers, and she has this for us today. Ashley.
Golston, just to take a step back as we look at those numbers, California overall has a budgeting problem. One of the state's top budget officials made that clear today, noting California is spending more money than it's bringing in, and it has been this way for the last few years. California legislative analyst Gabe Pettick warning state lawmakers that they need to prepare for an $18 billion budget shortfall, urging them to take action before it gets a lot worse in the years to come.
Relatively weak.
For the fourth year in a row, California's legislative analyst Gabe Pettick raising red flags the state could be short on funds next year by about $18 billion. Pettick's office released its budget outlook Wednesday, a report that comes out at this time every year to help lawmakers figure out how to spend taxpayer dollars for the upcoming year. State revenues are strong right now with the stock market and enthusiasm around artificial intelligence, but Pettick says it likely won't last and will not solve the state government's overall budgeting problem of spending more money than it has, risking even bigger deficits in the years to come. Since Governor Gavin Newsom took office in 2019, California budgets have grown from $208 billion to $322 billion this year.
Over the years, the costs and expenditures and the commitments of state government did run ahead of what the state's fiscal capacity really was. And so now that is part of the explanation for why we face these fairly large structural deficits in the future years.
The governor and us at the Department of Finance, we've recognized that problem.
Governor Newsom's Department of Finance spokesman H.D. Palmer said they mostly agree with the legislative analyst.
After the Thanksgiving holiday, the governor will be meeting with us. We'll have an updated picture on where we think things are.
The legislative analyst said California lawmakers have reached a critical point where they need to decide whether to cut programs or raise taxes.
Where do you see the Department of Finance and the governor going in this?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to get ahead of the decisions that the governor has yet to make. We're going to provide a range of options based upon what the size of the shortfall is, and he's going to make his decisions on that. What I think you've seen him do in the past, that's maybe an indicator of where things may be going, is that he is focused more on controlling the growth in spending, at the same time putting more money away where we can.
The legislative analyst today stopped short of recommending what programs specifically could be cut or how taxes could be raised here. California has $14 billion left in reserves at this point.
So a lot of moving parts, including maybe some outside forces. People may be wondering how much the Trump administration may have to do with any of the shortfall, if at all.
And that is certainly part of it. Both Pettick and Palmer today noted they play a role when it comes to the latest spending plan. Out of Washington, D.C., for example, H.R. 1, also known as the Big Beautiful Bill from the Trump administration, that is going to make a $1.2 billion hit on California's general fund in the healthcare space, for example. But overall, the bulk of the issue is around state spending on state programs generally, and those costs are coming in much higher than expected at this point.
All right, Ashley, thank you.